Hey, what's up, everybody? It's good to see you here tonight. Good to be here with you. Good to see you guys filling up in the chat. I'm going to do some shout outs to the chat in just a moment. And I think we're going to have a couple of folks joining us tonight. Looking forward to it. I'm going to do some shout outs to you in a second. A couple quick reminders. So this Wednesday night, we are going to be doing our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So it's episode number 43 of the giveaway show. And we're going to be celebrating hitting 1,000 subscribers here on the channel. Now we've continued to grow past that. You do have to be a subscriber to be eligible to win. So I'm looking forward to being able to share that with you guys and just having a good time hanging out and doing giveaways. We'll be giving away a couple slabs, some raw books, some supplies, and even a couple of gift cards this time. Might even be giving away a couple of press and clean credits to a couple of our friends of the show. But I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to it because this past year has been really cool, really fun doing this march to 1,000 and to break it now and to get to see where it might go from here. Man, I'm super excited and grateful to every one of you that tunes in faithfully week in and week out to hang out with us and just discuss comics and all the other different subjects that we come up with. Also, a couple of other things. Let's see. Yeah, just as a reminder, we do have most weeks 3 shows. We've got Monday Halls Live, which is what you're watching right now. It's a web series about the past week to week and a half worth of comic book pickups. And it's generally myself and MT, and sometimes we have guests like tonight. The amazing Spider Flint is going to be joining us, and I'm excited to see him backstage preparing. He's got a massive slab haul to show off with us tonight. But Monday Halls Live is always a fun time because we like to share why we got the books that we did and what our plans are with the books, and just giving little hints and tidbits here and there, and giving backstory and information about them as well. On Wednesday nights, we have the giveaway show. That's Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Central. It's another live stream show featuring myself and Paul and rotating different folks. Like this past week, we just had Adam from Nerd Mazing on, and he shared some cool upcoming products with us. And always a fun time there. And we do exactly that. We give away comic books. Sometimes we've done other stuff as well, but it's mainly comic books. And it's mainly a way to promote generosity in the comic community. And we enjoy doing that every week on a weekly basis. This week, as I shared, is going to be our 1,000 subscriber milestone giveaway. So we're going to have a bunch of giveaways to do. We're going to be doing all of them live. I consider doing another pre-recorded video entry, but we're just going to go ahead and do it all live and just see if we can just really give some cool stuff away to the chat and to everybody who's hanging out there. On Fridays, I have Friday features. Those go live generally at 10 p.m. Central. Those are a rotating list or rotating different types of videos, including creator interviews, top 10 lists, local comic shop spotlights, and other types of videos, especially ones that we've got coming up, some viral content that should be pretty entertaining. We're looking forward to that later. We also do convention coverage as well. If you are a fan of the channel, you may have noticed that the community tab now has new surveys that go live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday mornings. Make sure you're checking those out and voting in those. From time to time on Wednesdays, we will show those off in a segment called Survey Says. So we're always looking forward to seeing what people vote for and what people's interests, where people's interests lie. But again, just a lot of cool stuff going on here on the channel. Another quick reminder, I've mentioned it I think a billion times at this point. It's a 4-part video series for new comic collectors called Comic Collecting for Beginners. This 4-part series has its own playlist, and you can check it out, available on the YouTube channel. I'll be releasing the follow-up for it this November, next month, which is how to properly package comics for shipment. I know that's a very can be a touchy subject and can get people very passionate, but I'm hoping to drop some new tips and hints and some ideas, and even get some from those who leave stuff in the comments for us. But that should be a fun 3-part video series that'll be going live, like I said, next month. So, man, hey, we got a lot going on here at the channel. Excited to go ahead and get this episode kicked off and going. And let's do some chat shout outs here real quick. All right, here we go. I'm going to bring Michael on in just a second. Let's do some chat shout outs real quick. Louis V, what's up? Good to see you. I don't recognize your name, but I'm glad to see you here in the chat. Spider Girl, what's up? El Green Machine, glad to see you as well. Let's see, For Pete Sake, there he is, our winner from last week for the book that we gave away. Mike Bravo, what's up? Good to see you. Tony Stank, always a pleasure. Brooklyn Born, glad that you're here with us. Let's see, we got, okay, and I think those are the, oh, hey, what's up, H-Town Comics? Also need to tell mail carriers how to deliver the comics. That, hey, amen to that, right? So, but I actually have been blessed with fairly decent postal workers, except for the one time that the person at 8 o'clock at night left 3 Gemini mailers full of books sitting on the front stoop of the office. That wasn't good. I literally drove over there after seeing it in the security cam, drove all the way across town to go pick up the comic books, and I was glad I did because there was a bunch of valuable ones in there. Well, hey, let me go ahead and bring out our guest for the evening, and I'm sure MT will be popping on at some point here. But let me go ahead and bring him on and introduce him. This is a buddy of mine who's also here in the area, and I have my Thundercats #1 to thank that I thank him for. So let's go and bring him out. Here he is, Mr. Michael Flint.
Hey, good evening.
Spider Flint. Sorry, don't want to give away
my identity. No, thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Awesome, man. Hey, it's good to hear. So, Michael, real quick, just to kind of get folks caught up on you and just you as a collector and a comic person. How long have you been collecting comic books?
It's a broken story. So I started back in the mid 80s, I guess, when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
And collected all the way until the mid to late 90s, just after college, and that kind of fell off. And then I was watching Walking Dead, and if you remember, they had a show after that, Comic Book Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Kevin Smith's shop, and then the guys in the shop, would talk about what came in this week, and
yeah.
So, just seeing those books just kind of got my comic book juices flowing again, and then I read, in 2015 they were going to do Secret Wars again for Marvel.
Oh yeah.
And that just kind of brought me back in, and I hit it pretty hard since then, trying to limit myself nowadays, and set goals, is like you say. But I mostly collect Marvel and some Image titles as well, and Batman. So that's kind of the focus of my collection, I guess, nowadays.
Very cool. Very cool. So like if you had to choose a favorite character, who would it be?
I'm going to say Spider-Man,
Yeah.
He's always been my favorite, I guess, ever since I was a little kid. I just came across some old photos, family photos, and I still have it. It's a sleeping bag, a kid-sized sleeping bag with Spider-Man on it. And
that is so cool.
It's got several drawings on it. One of them is from Spider-Man 39, where the Green Goblin is flying and he's got him tied up. It's Peter Parker, but it's like his clothes are kind of ripping and his suit's underneath. So that's kind of the most famous drawing, I guess, on that sleeping bag. But I still have that. So
nice. So and let's see. Do you have a do you have like a prize, like most prized book that you care to share, or any like in your top 10 or top 15 in your collection that you just enjoy the most?
Well, I mean, I finally hit my big goal, and that was to get an Amazing Fantasy 15. So that's
wow. I remember.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you wanted to share about it, but I was going to leave it out there for you to share. Yeah.
That was my big goal, so I got that. I have pretty much, I guess, almost tried to get every Spider-Man key book. It was
nice.
I was collecting a lot of first appearances, but then you get some of these movies coming out. They've announced, we're going to do who are those guys? that Bad Bunny is going to be El Muerto. They announced a movie, so that book started spiking. Like I didn't have it yet. I was like, oh, like so. I just decided like, okay, I went through key collector comics and like looked at every issue for every Spider-Man title. I just tried to get, every first appearance that I could.
Oh my gosh, that is a ton of books.
Yeah, so I mean, he's had like at least 4 pretty long ongoing series. So yeah, a lot of books to sift through and try and locate. So still not quite done, but I got quite a few, I'd say.
So one last question for you, and then we'll get into some of the hauls. But this is just me like curious. So from the like, I guess from the time that you decided, hey, I want to acquire an Amazing Fantasy 15, and I ask about it as encouragement for those in the chat that might have like a big book that they say, oh, I'll never be able to get that book, or whatever. So how long from when you decided, hey, I'm going to make a run for this book until you actually acquired it? Like, how long did that take?
Probably a little less than 2 years, I would say. And the only reason I got there, I guess, that fast is I decided to sell some of my key books, to help me get enough money to buy that, because that's that was my favorite one. That's the one I was really after. So
yeah.
I had like I'd been buying Iron Man, when I got back into it, and I had the first appearance of Riri Williams, both the cameo and the one with her suit. So I had both of those graded 9/8. So, sold those for a nice profit. Just help added to my funds to get in there.
Right.
Plus, I had I guess I had a monthly, amount. I would set amount each month to help add to that goal. But
nice.
When the book started spiking, last year, I wanted to get it before, I don't know. So who knew what was going to happen? So
yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you got it, and hey, that's an encouragement to those who are watching right now that just keep in mind, hey, these goals are attainable. If you set your mind to it and you build a strategy around it, and like he said, one of the best strategies is to sell off smaller key books to go for the one mega grail, because then you can always go back around and rebuy if you need to. So, or if you want to.
I did do that. I had a first appearance of Black Knight, and I sold that, and he's kind of one of my cool, low key favorite guys. And so I recently reacquired another Raw. It was on eBay. Nobody else bid on it. The guy was in Malaysia, so I was like, oh, he had a lower price. It was an auction, so.
Yeah.
No one else bid, and then it's funny. I followed the tracking number, went to Malaysia, to China, to Alaska, like to Tennessee, and then to Houston. It made its way around, but it got here fine. So
that is awesome. That's such a cool story. Yeah, I love hearing about people getting their lifelong kind of Grail books, because it's encouragement to others to know. So yeah. Well, cool. Well, hey, here's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to go ahead and, Michael, I'm going to give you a chance to, I guess, pull maybe your first, because you said did you want to share all of them that you have, or like all the slabs?
Well, I got most of them pulled out already.
Okay.
I got about 3 different kind of stacks or themes. So
okay.
Do some different rounds or whatever.
Well, cool. Well, let's go ahead. Tell you what, I'll go ahead and let you just dive right into it. And why don't you go through a stack of about 8 to 10 of them, and then I'll show off some of these books that I've got here, and then we'll come back to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Right.
So I actually submitted books to Comic Tracks, and he pressed and cleaned them all and sent them off to me to CGC for me. So some of these are PC books, some are not. We may be going up for sale. So this one, I'm trying to get my glare off there. So got the X-Men 95. This is from 1975. So it came back in 9.0. So I was very pleased with that. This is Death of Thunderbird. For third appearance of the new X-Men team. Second time in their in the X-Men title.
Yeah, that's become a big book.
Yeah, you know,
we're chasing that one.
And then he still has my 94. I think I get to get that one submitted because that's actually worth a lot more, you know, with the new team coming in. But I also got number 96, came back in 8.5. Pretty happy about that. You know, 7.5 grade. This is the first Moira McTaggart. So, you know, if anybody's been reading X-Men lately, they know that she had a lot to do with the House of X.
Yeah.
And the Inferno, the new Inferno storyline. So, yeah, I was pretty happy about that one as well. So I think my 94 may be only like a 7.0, but we'll see about that, you know, when it comes back. So, but that one, like I said, is worth a bit more than these two. Next up, I got also another X-Men 129, first Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're just not on the cover, but that's, you know, I do love them when the character's on the cover. But
wait, so you got a 9.4 on that?
Yeah, 9.4.
Oh my gosh!
It was 1980. So.
Wow.
And it's newsstand, but I guess that was the majority of the books back then, according to Mr. Price. You know.
That's like a serious book right there.
Yeah, I like it.
It shot up so fast.
So we got first appearance of Apocalypse, X Factor number 6. Got a 9.6, so very happy. You know, Comic Track said they're getting a lot more strict, you know, on their modern books. You know, if you got a few spine ticks, you know, not necessarily color breaking, but even ticks there, they're just finding anything to bump you down. So, you know, this one is all these X-Men. Yeah, I like X-Men as well, a lot, and X Factor. You know, the Apocalypse being part of that whole genre or area. So these are all pretty much for my PC. Let's see here. Then I bought the all the different Wolverine titles. So this one not as high, 9.0, still not bad. But this is a newsstand copy. It came out in 1982, so I guess maybe a few more directs coming out back then. I don't know the official stats, but this is also that cover that MT was talking about. He had the Marvel Zombies, you know, homage to this, and he couldn't quite place his finger on it. It was it's Wolverine limited-ish series number 1. So 9.0 newsstand, not too bad.
That's a respectable grade for that one.
Yeah, I mean 82. That's
yeah.
It's 30 years old now.
Yeah, it's
40.
It's crazy. I start like sometimes I just kind of forget just how old these books are. Some of these books, like when we were kids, because I think we're about the same. You know, we're in the same age bracket. Like when we were kids, yeah, some of these books, they've been around a while.
Yeah, I mean this series was out before I started collecting. You know, something on the newsstands that I saw back then. So I got the whole run, that limited series. So I got a 9.6 on number 2. Very nice. So can't complain about that at all.
Yeah, that's not a bad book at all.
Yeah, and then you got 3 and 4. They both came back 9.2s. So, you know, like I said, respectable grades.
Wow. Wow, man, that black cover is so clean.
Yeah, you know, this one.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got a couple more Wolverine books here. So got his regular continuing series, number 1.
Oh yeah.
And this one's also a newsstand. Let's see, this was 88. So a lot of directs there. So I guess, you know, being a newsstand, command a little bit more for 9.0. So yeah, this is, you know, right in my wheelhouse. Started when I was collecting hard as a young adult, I guess in high school. Also got Wolverine number 8, that Twins homage, him and Hulk.
Yes.
This one had a little finger rub. Where is it? Right over there. So it's like, you know, it was in the printing process, I guess. So it knocked it down to a 9.4. I don't know, somebody's fingerprint, you know, on it. So Could have been higher, but because overall it's very nice. But not the spines. We do a famous Paul spine slide there. Whoa.
Nice.
So it was clean, but
really clean copy.
Yeah, it's just that little fingerprint. Let's see, get that in there, right above the W. You see how it's a little bit lighter in that blue?
Yeah.
Oh, well. And the last one, super excited. I had sent these off before the big announcement, but my Wolverine 88
nice
came back a nice 9.8. So try to get that glare off. There we go.
Very nice.
Yeah. Get it aside. So looking at it, it's very clean. I'm sure Comic Tracks, services definitely helped. But I was like 9.8, and I was like, ooh, I was super excited about that because obviously that was the hot book when I got it back, and still it was pretty hot. So yeah, it's a nice clean 9.8 copy. So that maybe when they get some those movie trailers, maybe I'll go up for sale. So, but that's all I got for this round.
Very cool. Okay. Well, yeah, let me go ahead and bring it back over. And thank you for sharing those, man.
And hi to Spidey Girl out there.
There's some sweet books in that stack. All right, so I got a couple. I don't have a ton. These are raw books. These are books that I did pick up this past week at a couple of LCSs, and I'll share them off. Or I'll share them just a second here. I'm going to bag these, but then I'll get to these over here. All right, so I have been. Y'all know that I'm kind of like a Red Tornado fan. So this book, this is the second time I've come across it. I bought it at a local comic shop here, not one of my regular ones. I don't know that I would recommend this one after this. I had asked about Rest or anything. I didn't look closely enough and didn't see it because it was such a cheap price for it that I didn't see in a crease here the third staple had been added, like way back, and it's such a rough copy. But I'm a Red Tornado fan, so this is the first Silver Age Red Tornado, kind of like the more modern one that we not the modern, like not the current design, but this was like his. I guess this was like his close to final form, but this is Justice League number 60, Justice League of America number 64. That's him on the cover, and I just was so taken and enamored with the fact that this one had a little stamp on it from Goodfellow Antiques, and again, it was such an inexpensive price. It was only I was putting it at like a 1.8 or so. But then I realized that it had this extra staple. It doesn't really make because it was such an inexpensive book and I just like the character. So to have my other copy is a slabbed copy, but to have a raw copy that I could flip through and look at was just a lot of fun. So I ended up picking it up, and yeah, it's pretty beat. So it's definitely seen better days. See if I can get it without the reflection. These Mylars reflect everything. So you can kind of see how it has seen better days there. It's definitely got a lot of scuffs and creases. A lot of tanning. It's got some chipping going on here. So yeah, and I've got it in one of the clear backer boards. So here is the back of it. It's got a lot of folds and stuff in the pages too as well on this bottom corner, but again, it was very inexpensive, and I just love the Red Tornado. So this one, Booster Gold, Firestorm, all those guys, I'll just grab these books when I see them, especially because a lot of them are very, very inexpensive, and I consider them like kind of like the C or D list Justice League characters. but I like that era. I remember that era. So that's an era that I do pick up. I have started to pick up more and more often. But Red Tornado, yeah, I like that one. Another book I came across, a All-Star Squadron #1, and I think I shared it last week or the week before. Well, I came across a #2 here at a local comic shop, and this was about this is about a 7.0 to 7.5, and these are just personal collection nostalgia books. So I went ahead and picked it up, and I just love seeing these older books and reading the stories and flipping through them, because it just takes me back to a fun era. And I guess at the time I'd never realized it because I didn't really know much about the artist, but this is actually a Joe Kubert cover. So just a fun little pickup. Also, I picked up last for this round that I'll share I picked up the first Marvel Voices Comunidades. This is the next one I think that they came out with. It's not listed as #2. It's still listed as #1, but it is different from the first one. And this does have a new character. I believe this is him on the front. But these stories are by Latin and Latinx creators, featuring Latin and Latinx characters. And as you know, I'm a big Hispanic superhero fan. So you can see White Tiger right there, the most recent iteration of White Tiger. There's Miles Morales. There's America Chavez, and then there is the Samuel Alexander Nova. So, so this was a fun one. I hadn't realized it had come out yet. I'd gotten a promo poster from one of my regular LCSs, but I just hadn't ordered the book. So I grabbed 2 copies of this. The other one is not in a bag and board yet. And then I do have a couple other books that I'll share. But yeah, this is what I'll call my round for this one. And I'm going to go ahead and bounce it back over to Michael and let him share a few more books. And yes, El Green, Firestorm is very cool. I've always loved the character design and just the kind of when you stand all these 80s Justice League characters next to each other, just looking at the color palette of all of them, with Green Lantern, Red Tornado, Hawkman, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Red Tornado, just seeing all of them together. And then I always just kind of mentally insert Blue Beetle and Booster Gold into the mix. But just seeing that lineup is just such a cool, to me, it's just such a cool thing because I think DC's got some fantastic characters. I hope they continue to get them to unroll them on film and in other media. So, all right. So I'm going to send it back over to Michael, and let's see what you got for round 2, Michael.
All right. So one quick one I want to show that reacquisition I got. My Avengers 48. Yes, 48. So a little tanning at the top there. Maybe a little stain on the outer corner. But otherwise, I mean, there's no major creases. It's a pretty solid book. So I was happy, especially looking at the prices of, the comparable price, the quality I would get, for some, versus some of the others. So I was like, and I don't know. Like I said, I was the only one to bid on it. So you got to like those.
Hey, those are the good ones.
Yeah. So, all right. Now we're going to do got a Spider-Man theme here. So I sent off a couple of copies of ASM 365, the first appearance of Spider-Man 2099. So I got a 9.8 and a 9.6 on those. So not sure what the difference in grading is, but they find something to nitpick like that. But you got that nice Bagley hologram in the center there. But,
that's not an easy book to get into high grade in a 9.8. That's a pretty hard 9.8 right there.
Yeah, I mean it's got that kind of thick, kind of like a cardboard cover, I guess, if you will. So I mean, if it's if there's creases and they all come because of that cover, that thick cover, they get those bindery tears at the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
So you can get some with very minimal of that. And another thing I noticed on some of them, the hologram, you could see sometimes there's like little specks, like chipped off or just the imperfections, I guess.
The holograms get scratched very easily. So
Yeah,
that's ruined many a 9.8 candidate before. I noticed that. Yeah, man, that's actually a very that's a good book to have in 9.8 right there.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be in the next Into the Spider-Verse. So, the part 2 that comes out later this year. Yeah. So maybe some trailers drop for that. Prices start going up. Don't mind my cats in the background there. This room is usually locked, the door's shut. So any chance they get to come in here, they like to explore, but they're usually pretty good. Until she jumps on top of the box. Oh, there she goes.
Wow.
Don't mind her. So I got a Spider-Man 210, first Madam Web. Came back in 9.4. Pretty happy about that.
Wow. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's another good one to have. I don't know about the movie, but I know that the character, I've always thought that character was cool. Especially trying to get the I remember when he was fighting Juggernaut to try to stop Juggernaut from getting her. Do you remember that story?
I don't remember that one. Like I said, I was out of it for like 20 years, so there was a lot of little stories I missed in between there. But and this is, I guess, the original Madam Web, so it's probably one of the more expensive, first appearances, because they kind of changed her character over the years, and I think there's a Julia Carpenter, I think, is now Madam Web. So,
right.
Yeah. But, so we'll see about the movie. Maybe we'll do a little good bumping it up. So here's another one coming out. We got they called her Captain Marvel, but now she, I believe, is Photon. Whatever.
Yep.
Monica Rambeau, we'll say that. So I don't know. It came back in 8.0, but it was a pretty clean copy. I don't know how they dinged it so hard, but I guess it is what it is. But another first appearance, and it came in a Spider-Man book, so had to grab it.
Yeah, hey, that's a really good. I love that actress that that played her in the WandaVision series. She was one of the best things about that show.
Yeah, she did a really good job, and I guess they're going to bring her back in the Captain Marvel #2.
Yeah.
So her and tie in all three of them, so that'll be interesting. So, and then I got 2 here of Web of Spider-Man #1. This one is only a 9.0, but it is a newsstand copy, so
nice.
Not too shabby. It's actually better than my direct edition. Came back in 8.5. So
okay,
but still both pretty high. Can't complain too much. And I have a third copy, a raw copy. So like when you get extras, you sell an extra. Keep probably the higher graded slab. Sell the extra one, and then I've got my raw reader copy. So. Here's one you may really enjoy. We got a Transformers #3, came back at 9.4. Be happy about that. And this was a special appearance by Spider-Man. So put that in my Spider-Man grouping, part of my PC, I guess. I like to get a lot of his crossovers, first appearances like in other titles, like when he appeared in X-Men and Avengers and Daredevil. So I got a lot of those. And the last one for my Spider-Man, I got a variant cover, Secret Wars #9, came back in 9.6. So you got both Peter and Miles together on the cover there, hanging out, I guess, after the wars. So, yeah, all right. So he says you're in the Marvel 616 now, buddy. How about that? So happy about those. So, and then I got a few more, and then we got some non-Marvel books. So, do you want to knock out a few more Marvel here?
Yeah. Let's see some more Marvel.
All right. So, one other guy I liked a lot back in the day. Still read him. The Punisher. So, of course, his first appearance was ASM 129, but here we got 1986. He got his own limited series. So, got a 9.6. I was much happier than I thought I would get. So. It's just a whole series. I think had those little painted covers. Those are all pretty nice. I like those. That, and then so of course I started buying the regular ongoing series. Started like the next year, 87 it says. So I got number 1 and a 9.8. So I was happy about that. And of course I was doubly happy. I got 2 9.8s.
What?
So, yeah, I mean, these were 2 I just bought, in the comic book store back in 87. Kept them in my PC all these years, bagged and boarded, and so I got a lot of those that run for going for a while. Because one of the other ones I got graded was Punisher number 4. It was the first microchip. There's a guy that helps him out, I guess, with these specialty weapons and communications. So I guess this number 4 was his first appearance. So, another 9.8. So, and she's got 3 more. These are the current or more current Punisher. One of these from 2018. So probably won't happen anytime soon. They got that Armor War series coming out. So was this number 218? So I got a 9.6. They found some flaw, maybe some kind of rub, they said, I guess, or whatever. But this is a Punisher got a hold of a suit for War Machine. So of course he had to paint his skull on the chest there, but so he was operating the War Machine armor. So there was that. It went on for like a whole story arc. So he had 218.
Yeah.
Got, the 219 I got a 9.8 on. So another these are Clayton Crane covers. Just pretty nice covers. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
And then 224 got a 9.6. This is one with a more patriotic theme there.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen that one before.
No.
It's a cool one. I like that.
So, yeah, it was all part of that same story arc. He had a pretty good time in that War Machine armor. So he fought some other War Machine armors too. So it was a pretty good little arc, I thought. So,
very cool.
That's all I got there. I think I'm all marveled out for now.
All right, awesome, man. You've got some serious books that came back. That's a good variety too. It's a lot of cool stuff across multiple characters. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let me go ahead and share. I've got a couple more books to share. Just a brief reminder for those who have jumped on and hadn't been with us since the beginning. I wanted to share with you that on Wednesday night, we've got our 1,000 subscriber episode of the giveaway show. This is going to be just multiple types of giveaways, multiple styles of giveaways. We'll be doing it all through the live show for the live chat. That way, keeps it easier for people who want to enter. Lots of different stuff, including raw comics, slabbed comics, supplies, and gift cards. So make sure that you put this like on the calendar or make note of it. It'll be 10 p.m. Central. The giveaway show, it'll go for about an hour to an hour and a half. Probably going to be run long that night. But I just wanted to make sure and remind everybody, mention that for those maybe who haven't seen it. Also, make sure and hit that like button if you haven't already. Give us a like for this video to help get the algorithm kicking and letting people know that we are live right now. Okay, so I shared the Justice League and the All-Star Squadron book. I wanted to share the second copy because I got it bagged and boarded. Comunidades has a new character in it from Marvel. Then two others. So DC, I guess, has started like releasing some of their biggest and best facsimile editions. Inexplicably, they waited until now to do it. They've been doing it for a while, but they had just recently done like Action Comics #1, Superman #1, Batman #1, Detective Comics #27. So they've just done all those over the past couple months. Well, I looked and sure enough saw here Marvel Family Comics #1, the facsimile that was at my LCS. And so I just thought, hey, this is pretty awesome. We got to flip through it and look at the original version of Black Adam, because they do join forces to fight him here. And it was just, it was a fun trip. These were obviously predated my childhood by quite a bit, because these are Golden Age characters. And I don't know that I ever even knew there was an Uncle Marvel, because you can kind of see him there hanging out. I've never seen him before, but it's hilarious to me that there was the Marvel family and he's Uncle Marvel. So that's fun. But yeah, I picked this up, and hey, I highly recommend these facsimile editions. And I've shown off the digest size repeats from the Mighty Marvel Masterworks. It's just really affordable, easy ways to be able to pick up the material and read the material and get a feel for the original material. So this was just a fun one. I only picked up one copy of it, so I don't think I'll end up doing it as a giveaway. But this is just kind of one of those fun personal collection books. And then last but not least, y'all know that I've been raving about it for a while, since issue #1. And it's now on issue #16. I have cut out all the variants, because I have cut out all the variants in my life, because it's just, there's too many of them, and I can't do it. I'd rather put the money into other resources. So this is Moon Knight #16. This is just the regular A cover, and this does continue to be, I think, one of the best Marvel reads that they've got going right now. I've enjoyed it. I liked the way they kicked it off, and then with the addition of the Hunter's Moon character, and just how they've kind of continued to carry him on, and have done this thing with, because I felt like the whole kind of the mental side of Moon Knight had kind of been taken way further than it needed to be, and it could have really, I like the way this one just kind of brought all of them back together, lined up all his histories, and kind of made it flow together in a better way. So I've enjoyed it. I like the superhero Moon Knight, and so it's been a fun series. It's not like high brow literature or anything, but it has been an enjoyable read, and I am reading very few modern books right now. So I think I'm buying more facsimile editions than I am original modern books. But there's a few here and there that I pick up and try to, I'll read an issue here or two and see how things are going. And but yeah, that's a fun one to check out. So those are the last of the books I had. And then let's see. Let me see who's on here in the chat. El Green, I as well. I love the Punisher War Journal with Microchip and just in that the Carl Potts scripting and the Jim Lee art. Punisher War Journal for me was just, it's the height of like my comic collecting adolescence, because like a lot of comic fans, I got into it, was in it through middle school. Then once I hit high school, I kind of dropped off of it for a little while, and then came back to it in later on in college. So let me bring Michael back in, and let's see. Michael, did you have any others that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I got a few more here.
Okay. All right.
A couple that Comic Tracks pressed and cleaned for me, but didn't submit. Just there's a little lower grade than I would have liked. There's
cool.
There was a big crease. Ran down the side there on the cover. Couldn't quite get out. So But I know this is a Masters Universe #1, the Marvel series, but it is a newsstand edition. So, but you made it look pretty nice. So that one, and then Transformers #1. So it was in pretty rough shape. It definitely needed the press, but there's just a lot of spine ticks. So I don't even think it would have hit a 9. So decided just not to slab that. But again, that's a newsstand edition. So
very cool.
That's a nice painted cover. So then the last few slabs I have here. I know I just read they're going to restart another story arc here, like the beginning of the year or at the beginning of next year. Saga, #1 and 9/6. Again, I don't know. I guess being harder on modern books. I mean, this is like super clean. The back is just all white. There's nothing wrong with that. And then the front, like I don't know. It's hard to see any spine ticks. And like I don't know. I guess they found something to nitpick. So,
well, that's a pretty good grade for that book, because I know that book is like a crazy high price for the #1, especially in high grade, like a 9/6.
It commands a pretty penny. So and if they would ever make a show out of it, that'd nice give it a nice bump as well. So who knows? But, this is the Transformers the movie,
nice.
#1. Got a 9/6, so pretty good grade.
Nice, man.
Currently for sale on eBay. We didn't throw that one up there. And not to make you mad or anything, but when I sold you that Thundercats, I had a couple other copies myself, and tracks pressed and cleaned and smeared them. So I got a 9/4 on 2 of them. So I actually had 3 copies. Submitted the other one. The other one was like a 8.5. So I guess they didn't like it that much as the other one. So when those live action trailers come out, those will be going up even more.
Oh yeah.
So then my big finale. I bought this one, at LCS, and it was a nice copy. Tracks clean and pressed it up for me.
Oh,
Star Wars #1, 9/6. I was super surprised, man. So
wow.
And, it came back so nice. I was like 9/6. Wow, because I mean, that puts it like well over $1,000.
Yeah, that's like wow.
So super happy with that one. And I just got 2 other raw books here. So you had your one of your Friday features, your top Spider-Man books to get.
Oh yeah.
And, so I can't remember which one was 9 and 10. That was the last 2. I had all the other 1 through 8, but
nice.
Was, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Got a nice #1, very clean copy.
Wow.
First appearance of Firestar.
That is really, that is a really nice. That's a good book to have. I think that one's undervalued. I think a lot of people miss it, and I think, man, Firestar is just she's a cool character. Yeah, she's a cool character to see something happen with her.
Yeah, and the current X-Men books, they now they're on their special Mutant Island, Krakoa. They actually each year they're voting. I guess everybody on the island votes who their X-Men team members are going to be, and she was voted an X-Men team member, so she's now in the regular X-Men run going on.
Very cool. Okay.
And then the other one, I can't remember, like I said, 9 or 10, was Spider-Man 36, the 9/11 tribute. So this is a very nice copy. It's hard to get on there. It's all black.
Wow.
There's no spine ticks.
Oh my
color
gosh.
breaks. So
wow. Oh my gosh. That is a beautiful copy.
So yeah, very happy when I got both of these in. I think there was a couple little ticks on that on the other one, but that was a very nice copy, especially that one being older. But
Nice.
So I mean, that's all the big ones I got for you. I mean,
nice.
I've got some other, recent stories, books that I've collected. Been buying it. The LCS coming out. I always like to buy new stories and kind of read them and see what's going on. See if I like it. Or I love some Japanese art and samurai stories. I don't know if you heard about Hitomi from Image. I think they have like maybe 5 or 6 issues planned.
Yes. So I did hear about it. I haven't picked it up.
So there was that one, and then there's the Peach Momoko variant cover.
Oh, nice. That works really well.
But the artwork, it's kind of Japanese inspired as well. Open this one up real quick. That's what really sold it for me. I mean, take a look at that.
Oh wow!
So just that big scene there, wow. Those rice paddies down there. She's talking to some of the villagers. But just the whole style of it, is that kind of old Japanese art.
Wow!
So that was pretty cool. So that's also everything I got for you.
Good deal. Yeah. Well, hey, thanks so much for hanging out tonight, Michael. This is a lot. Man, you got some really cool books. You said most of them are going to be like personal collection books.
For those slabs, I mean, the ones I have duplicates of, probably look to sell duplicates. But yeah, I mean, some of those, the old X-Men books, definitely PC. So. I've collected X-Men for a long time as well. Probably my second biggest in terms of number of books for a title.
Yeah. Is X-Men number 1 on your list?
It was, but like I don't know. Then I'd have to sit there and save up a bunch of money again. Like I had some money saved up, but then I went, and gave all these books to Comic Tracks, and so that gets a little pricey when you're sending off a bunch of books. So the ones he has still of mine are kind of the more expensive ones. That's like the standard ones where you've got to pay like it's like $80 for a grading fee. So those more expensive books. So got to get those out, get those CGC, get those back, and then see where I stand.
Hey, I understand. I definitely understand it. Yeah, you got to kind of space things out. I had when I showed the latest 2 like personal collection goals for the year, I had some people message and say, "Hey, I've got this other one that's on your list." I said, "It's going to be about a month or 2 before I make any more purchases. Got to stock it up again and just kind of make sure you're on good financial footing." Well, good deal. Well, hey. Thanks again, Michael, for hanging out with us, and thanks to everybody who stopped in and joined and hung out with us tonight. It's always fun to see what collectors are picking up and purchasing and getting slabbed, and in Michael's case, man, just fantastic collection and collector that just is a lot of fun to have around. So, and it's good for you guys to see him because he is in the chat. He hangs out in the chat with us, so you got a chance to see him and interact with him. Don't forget that this upcoming Wednesday, we've got the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I know I shared about it already, but I'm going to share about it one more time. We'll go live at 10 p.m. Central. Be there so you don't miss out on some of the giveaways. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff, supplies, comics, raw comics, slab comics, gift cards. You will get to choose in many cases which thing you get, so you're not going to just be forced to take whatever the thing is, but we'll have some fun with it. I'm going to play a little bit looser than in the past because I don't want to be stressed out with a whole bunch of entries on the entry video. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun, and I hope that you guys are able to be there with us. So we've enjoyed hanging out with you tonight. If you are not a subscriber yet, make sure and I remember going to Beat Dalton Bookstore and passing on that comic because the characters were not called the same as the movie. Isn't that the story right there? I need a Transformer the movie comic for my collection.
Hey, I've got a 9.6 here for you.
Right. Yeah, 9.6. Okay. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to see. But hey, to everybody that hung out with us tonight, that was just hanging out in the chat and commenting and interacting and stuff, we appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us, because we could not do it without you. We'll see you on Wednesday night, and then hopefully on Friday night, I will finally have my top 10 Namor comic video finished. It's been shot. It is being edited, but it's just been a crazy busy weekend, much busier than expected, because it's our 9-year-old's birthday weekend, and that was a lot more. That was a lot more time than I thought it was going to be. So, but hey, life goes on. There's some cool things that you gotta bump comics with. So hey, thank you guys again for being here. It's always fun, as I've said. Make sure and comment, or make sure and like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure and tell somebody about what we've got going on about Wednesday night. It'll be more fun with more people there, so help us spread it out and share it. So we will see you then. Take care.
All right. Thanks for everybody for commenting and watching. Appreciate it.